Good morning. Peace and blessings, everyone. How are you guys doing today? Happy Wednesday. Wednesday is the day that is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is currently at the 29th degree of Leo. So Mercury moves so fast, and Mercury has moved through Leo, which is interesting. So, Mercury is the story we tell. Mercury is the story we tell ourselves that then creates the reality that we live in, right? So if we're telling ourselves we're tired, we don't have enough, that's not good, we create that reality. That is Mercury. Because Mercury is the planet that flies closest to the sun. So it's almost like Mercury is the planet that has the most fuel. It has a more profound connection to the light than the other planets do. And this is an energetic system that is made up of light. We are light beings, whether we're in darkness or not. And God, there's so much going on in my mind right now. There's so much going on in my mind right now that I want to say, and I want to say in order, in ways that actually make sense. So, Mercury's relationship to the sun. Mercury is the planet that goes closest to the sun, and that is our mind. The light is, the sun brings forth the light. It brings forth our personality. And Mercury, being the mind, has to work with our personality. So that's why it stays so close to the sun. And our personality is expressed through the stories we tell ourselves about everything. Because the storyteller, who you are the storyteller. No one is telling the story that is inside of you but you. You are saying, I like this. I don't like this. This feels good. That's good. That's bad. You are the one that is doing that. You are the storyteller. You are the generator of your reality. And so it's important to begin to recognize that power. The story you tell about a certain something is what you are going to actually create and experience. And so, the more you, I'm annoyed by this, by the lawnmower sound. So, the more we are in our heads, processing information, thinking. Like, there was a time in my life, I have double Mercury, right? And Mercury is the trickster energy. Mercury is if you think about your mind, you can have a happy thought and you feel good in your body. In the split second, you can have a negative thought and you feel bad in your body. Mercury is the key to all of that. And the thing about Mercury is that, like I said, it's the trickster. So it has this dual energy. It's not always what we think it is. And Mercury can go to every position. It's, Mercury, the mind, is not subject to one way of being. In the mythology, let's say it that way, Mercury, the god Mercury, was the god that could go to heaven, it could go to hell, it could go to Hades, it could go to visit all the gods. Like, Mercury was the energy that could go to every experience. So this is why we have to really understand the importance of our mind and begin the work to learn to control your mind. Because your mind it's false information. That's what I want to say. Your mind is false information. Your mind's information. So when you see something, the mind will connect it to what it already knows. So if the mind sees something, it's like a data bank, right? And it's going to go, and if you see something, it's going to go, okay, where have I seen that before? And then it's going to say, okay, this reminds me of this. And then it's going to take you into that way of being. But what you've been taken into through your memory might not be what is necessary now. So for the last few years, I have been really working. This is why I do the Mercury retrograde classes, to train myself to think with the cosmic law and not with my ego's rules, not with the human law that people have said is good or bad or any of that kind of stuff. So because this is on my mind, I'm going to talk about it. I was just on somebody's page and there was a video of a young woman saying, no one ever taught me that men are subject to their sexuality. And she said, even though I'm a working mom and I'm exhausted and I'm tired, I cannot neglect my husband's sexuality. And I'm listening to this and I'm like, wow. Like, here this woman is saying she's exhausted, she's working, she has children, and because her husband is subject to his sexuality, so is she. She has to ignore that she's tired. She has to ignore that she has been taking care of several people and children and all of that because he needs his dick sucked. And this is the thing that I want us to really understand. This is a narrative, a construct that was born out of the ego. This egoic idea that women are responsible for men's well-being is a story. It is a story, you guys. It is not the truth. It is just a story. It is just a story that we were given to make us be submissive, to make us feel like we don't have power, and to make us feel like we have to give our power to them or our needs are not going to get met. And this is what I'm talking about with Mercury. The stories we tell become true even though they are not aligned with cosmic law. That's why I said I had to teach myself cosmic law. And in cosmic law, the feminine is first. The feminine chooses. The feminine creates. The feminine is the nurturer, yes. But the feminine has her needs met first. And what we have done in our culture is we have dumbed our culture down through religion, through politics, through the education system, because it's all run by men. And men are not organically in the ways that women are connected to the invisible. They are not. They don't have the antenna. They don't have the codes that connect them to the eternal, because we are their connection to the eternal. We are their connection to the eternal. That's why they come out of our bodies. And then they are always trying to get back in to our bodies, right? Because we are the power source. We are the fuel. And if we don't understand, that's why I'm always saying it's so good for a woman to take her time to understand how her energies work, how her gifts work, before she begins to share it with anybody else. But the culture starts directing us towards giving our power away as young as 3 and 4 with all these fairy tale stories and Prince Charming and when is he coming? He is coming and he is going to distract you from what you're really up to and what you're really here to do, unless he is a man who follows cosmic law. If he follows cosmic law, you're good. Because a man who follows cosmic law will know that you don't want to eat the fruit before it's ripe. You don't want to eat the fucking fruit before it's ripe. You want to let the fruit get good and ready and really ripe for what it is to be and do. one of the things that I'm so aware of, it's like in nature, like if you cut a flower from its bush, it starts to die. And women, we are the flower. We are the flower. And men are fertilizer. Their energy is fertilizer for the flower, right? So if you cut the flower dies. So when a woman is cut from her divine connection to come and be in service to a man, I'm a cook for you, I'm a clean for you. And I'm not saying that you can't do that, because there's something so beautiful about when we are in service to one another. But we cannot be in service to one another until we are clear about who we are, because everything else is servitude for women. And then you get older and you realize you've given all your energy and time and attention away to everyone else but yourself. To everyone else, but you've given that man what he needs, and you've given your children, and then your children go away. And men as men age, their testosterone begins to drop. So then they can't even meet you where you are, because as a woman, I'm telling you, your sexuality kicks in your 40s. Your sexual power kicks in your 40s. Now that I'm a 50-something-year-old woman, my sexuality is like a teenage boy's. So if you give all your energy away when you're in your 20s and 30s, by the time your power really comes to you and you haven't cultivated yourself and understood who you are and what you're up to, that's why you look at all these women who are now in their 40s and in their 50s, and they're trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to figure out who they are because we've been conditioned with the stories that tell us that our power is anchored in romantic connections. And that is absolutely not true. Your power is anchored in your connection to the Creator, to the mystery, to the beauty, to the universe, to nature. That is where your power comes from. It does not come from a man. He is not infinite. He is not infinite. He is a product of your creation. You created him. How are you going to now fall down and serve your creations? That's not how it works. And then you find yourself depleted and sad and lonely and heartbroken because of the stories of this reality. Mercury, like I said, they're tricky. You have to really test it, because Mercury is the trickster. The stories that we are told are not the truth. They're fucking lies, you guys. And it just breaks my heart, because I get it. I get that we want to feel love, but you get to find a way to love yourself in a way that makes you so whole that when you go and love a man, it's the overflow. It's like, baby, I got so much of this. How much you need? But when you have not given yourself what you need, then you go to him looking for something that he cannot even fucking offer you. He don't have it. He don't have the keys to it. He don't know what it tastes like. He don't know what it smells like. He couldn't tell you if it slapped him in his face. He wouldn't be able to say. He couldn't. So we have this opportunity to begin to really get clear about this Mercurial energy and the stories that we're given as children, the stories that we continue to participate in as adults, and how we are living our lives from the misunderstanding that we are here in service to men, when the reality is that men are here to protect the feminine. It's the other way around. And I'm not saying that we don't serve them, but we cannot serve them if we are not whole in and of ourselves. Epiphany of Divinity says he needs to be shown how to love you. The only way is to show him how to. That's right. That's right. You have to be the example for the kind of love you deserve. You have to be the representative of the kind of love and commitment and devotion that you deserve, because he will mirror to you what you are already exhibiting to yourself. what you are already doing for yourself, because that is how the universe works. The feminine is first. And when the feminine is first, the feminine shows the way. The feminine creates the path. And here's what I want to say. I've always often said the feminine is not about being a woman. Some women are in their masculine energy, and absolutely you can do that. And some women are in their feminine energy, and some men are in their feminine energy. And because it doesn't matter, it's about the energetic. It's not about the gender. It's about an energetic. Our total socialization as women from girlhood, yes, absolutely. We've been told from the very beginning, you are here to serve a man. Because the first one that I was given was Jesus Christ. You got to serve Jesus Christ. And they've taken. Okay. So the moon today is in Libra. And with the sun in Leo, the sun is our heart's expression, our creativity, our essence. The sun is your essence, the light that is within you. The moon in Libra is about how you take yourself, your true self, who you really are, into relationships with others. Can you show up as yourself in a relationship with another? Or do you show up as what you think people need you to be? Or what you think people want you to be so you will be liked? Or what you think, how are you masquerading? How about that? How are you masquerading? Or are you being in integrity with who you really are? Because if you can't be in integrity with who you really are, then people can't love you the way you really need to be loved. But only you know what that is. And if you've not spent the time to discover your true essence and who you are and what you need, then you cannot expect for your needs to be met because you don't know what your needs are. You don't know. So the thing that so that's really it. I feel finished. I feel finished. It's really important for us to know that we're really living through the dark ages, you guys. We are in the dark ages right now. Join the classes. Yes, the classes. Jupiter starts next week. Jupiter and the Jupiter class. It's up in my link tree now. The Jupiter class is specifically designed to assist you in accessing your true identity, because Jupiter's in Aries, and Aries is the self. It's like me. It's you, right? And so with Jupiter there, Jupiter is faith and vision and expansion. And so you want to bring faith and vision and expansion and adventure to your identity so that you can really go on a journey to discover who you really are. Who you really are, not who they told you to be, not who they said Jesus wants you to be, none of that shit. Who your soul brought you here to be. I know when I first got here, I was given Jesus and parents who were addicted and drug addict and all that kind of shit. And I literally, I had no center. I had no sense of self at all. And just through the last 20 years, I've just been asking and meeting aspects of myself and being in deep query, and really got clear through my astrology has helped me. It's like, okay, I have a Pisces rising. Okay, so that means that if I have a Pisces rising, Neptune is my lead, Neptune. So that means spirituality and the collective. Like, I had to really understand how I'm made so that I could live into it and begin to say no to the things that are not true for me. So there was so much I was agreeing to and participating in, believing I had to. And I finally just started saying no. I stopped being friends with people that I really didn't feel connected to. I stopped participating in things that didn't really give me anything that I really wanted. I started questioning how I was raised and the things that I believed and if those things were valuable to me or not. I really started looking deep inside of myself. And as I've done it, people have fallen away. People have gone bye-bye. Night, night. People have gone bye-bye. And it has been It has not been easy. It has been really painful. I have lost some relationships, have gone away that I didn't think would ever go, that I thought would be in my life all the time. And I feel better though. I feel like myself. I feel like I'm in my lane. I feel connected. And it's very subtle. It's an internal thing that no one could have ever told me that this is, but I live inside of the questions of, what am I feeling and what is this? And when I meet a person, who is this person to me and how should I interact with them? What's going to best serve? Like I'm very deliberate about my life. Because it is my intention this time to really do what I'm here to do, so that when it's time for me to leave the planet, I can say to myself, I did what I'm supposed to. I did what I came here to do. I did what I came here to do. I can leave here knowing my job is done. Nobody else could have done it, and I did it. And that's my desire, right? And what I'm here to do is to assist myself and others in waking up while we're in the dark ages. Because here's the thing. We have to build the bridge to the next reality through our consciousness, though. We have to build the next reality through what we know to be true about ourselves. The reality can't be born. Like you don't get to just change businesses or change the physical world reality. The physical world reality doesn't matter. We have to shift our consciousnesses inside from this dark ages. We have to allow the dark ages to be so dark and heavy that we are compelled to do something new. This is the gift of oppression and all of this sort of tyranny. It forces us into another way of being. We can sit here and fight it and go, they're wrong, they're wrong, they're wrong. Or we can ask ourselves, what else is possible? What else is possible? And that is what we are here to do. And if we don't do it, what's going to happen? Because if we let the system and these white motherfuckers that are running this country, if we let them, you see what they're doing in the world? Do you guys see what they're doing? And if we let them continue to make the rules, continue to set the standards, continue to regulate our lives, if we let them do that, if we continue to just fight them, right? You can't continue to fight because that means your energy is being used for the old reality. You've got to bring yourself out of it and start doing the new thing. Start being the new way. You have to embody the new way, and you can't be in the old world and in the new world simultaneously. Not in your consciousness. You can't be divided against yourself. That's right. If we don't do it, it falls to our children and our children's children. That's right. And then in one of those cycles, you're going to be born again. You might come back as your child's child. And then whatever work wasn't done is still going to be needing to get done. It's not going anywhere. We commit to being the love that is needed in the face of conflict. Yes. So that's what we're up to. And with this sun in Leo, I have been doing every day, I have been doing heart opening exercises. Just I open my heart. I'm willing. When I hear myself going in my head trying to figure things out, I have a tendency, I'm a Virgo, so I try to figure things out. Like my mind is always trying to see before, right? And so lately I've just, when I feel myself doing, I'm just like, it's okay. And I'll go to my heart and say, heart, will you help me? Help me release the need to know. Help me release my desire to control. I trust you. I trust that where I am is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I don't need to figure this out. I'll know what I need to do. And I'm doing this because we're in the Leo energy. And Leo governs the heart. And the heart is where everything is created from. Everything. Mercury is in Leo in your natal chart. Yeah, that's big. So you're in your Mercury's return. All right, y'all. I'm finished now. My hair is growing. I like it. I'm getting it braided again, but it's growing out. I didn't have none last year. It was all bald, and so now it's growing. Okay, I could just sit here and do this for a while, but I'm not going to do it anymore because I actually don't have anything else to say. All right, you guys can register for the Jupiter class. It is $88 a month. It's $350, $352, but $88. You can break it down to $88 for the 4-month period. If you want to pay it in full, you can do that too, but you have to let me know so I can help you do that. And we're going to create a new identity. We have to give ourselves the permission to be who we are really here to be. Give yourself the permission to be who you're really here to be. All right. Have a really beautiful day. Peace and blessings.